Hello, everybody, and welcome back to No Honor Acquired, the story about my life. Oh, wait. No, it's good. So, this trial is the worst one. They give you what is, in my opinion, the worst mech in the game because it has very little mobility relatively to its weight class. It's a very light mech, and it can put slightly more armaments on than a standard light mech, but it's way slower and can't do a torso twist very far anyway.
I see.
So you just get ripped to shreds by anything of a higher weight class. The only time you'll have an okay matchup is if you're against a light mech that isn't dodging you very well.
So you basically have to just walk around the corner and force them to walk at you from the side.
Yeah, no. So they give you autocannon on this trial because you can't change the loadout at all either, you remember?
Yeah, right.
And you want to use those right away because that arm will get shot off. And they also, but no, there's a far better way. So he is glitched and inside of that obstacle, and I'm like, okay, well, two can play at this game. So I stick my arm through it to shoot him without him being able to shoot me. And this is why I was saying you'll understand why the hit percentage was the way it was, because sometimes the shots don't go through the barrier.
And sometimes, but most of the times they seem to do.
Yeah. No, this is how to do this. Like, I played this a bunch of times. I think I might have beaten it once before without doing this, but that's just like basically luck that the AI doesn't.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about
you.
quite so many things as you do. Obviously, we have established that.
But yeah, so just stick your face into the wall and shoot people through it. That's the proper solution.
I mean, even doing this is still taking between 4 and 5 fucking ever.
Well, that's partly because, like I said, you have to stick your arm through, and you can't. Oh, and I just hit an enemy on accident. So there's a bunch of inactive mechs around the arena, and one of them is the one that you fight when you go onto the phase 2. But the rest of them are just sitting there, but they have weapons, and they will come online if you shoot them.
Wow, that's kind of mean.
But you can see how I got the 65, because if you're not aiming...
There we go.
It's difficult to aim through this thing. Yes. Now I'm trying to run away from the guy I accidentally made angry, so I can shoot the engagement sphere. And you only have 15 seconds to do that, so you better do it. I tried cheesing this originally by shooting the guy that I would be fighting before hitting the sphere and then hitting the sphere. But it's really difficult to do that and not die to the other guy, or if you've already killed him, to do that and then get back to
so
shooting
we're just going to repeat the last phase.
Oh yeah. This is the solution to the problem. And he is... For some reason, they are all getting stuck inside of this, so it's making it even easier because they're not moving. That isn't something you can expect. If you're doing this and they don't get stuck
just
inside
focus on aiming on the legs, since like
that is what I'm trying to do. I'm also trying to make sure I don't come out of the wall, basically, so that I continue to shoot through. But yeah, if they're not stuck, you can still shoot them. You can see the other one coming off to the right there. But I want to get rid of this
stuck into the wall again.
Yeah, you see what I mean, though. It's like difficult to keep yourself in there. You got to kind of continue to jam yourself in. And yeah, this and the last trial, I just completely cheese. But I don't have to kill that other guy for my mission. So as long as he's not actually shooting at me, and they haven't seemed to figure it out yet. Oh, and then I got a lucky headshot. I remember that happened. I shot right into the cockpit, and he died. But now I'm feeling cocky, and I'm gonna try to kill this guy because if I don't push another button, I can still fire. If I don't push another button, then I can continue playing for I think 30 seconds or something. So, but I couldn't kill him.
He lived.
See, 55 hit percentage, but you can understand why, because I couldn't see what I was shooting at most of the time. And yeah, so now we're going on to the final mission. This one had a lot of, so I have friendly helicopters and a friendly friend, and this one had a lot of restarts for me, mostly because the emulation kept breaking down. There's also some difficulty right at the beginning here because you can't. It's very difficult to target the things that you're going to want to target because there's these tanks that are shooting that are really what you need to be focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, they come up very late maybe it's alphabetical, I don't know. They come up very late in the targeting sequence, even if they're close to you. And there's a button you can hit to go for the closest target, and then there's a button you can hit to just cycle through targets, but it doesn't cycle through in proximity.
Oh, so just
I don't know what the order.
Seemingly random.
Yeah, or maybe it's like, internally they had enemy 1, enemy 2, enemy 3, enemy 4,
Yeah, so like I said, seemingly random.
Right. But it's very important to use your torso turns in this, because you're going to be taking a lot of firepower early on, and you have a lot of things to kill. And if you're just doing what I did in the early missions, where you're just walking at people while shooting at them, you're going to lose your firepower too early.
You're gonna have to circle strafe.
So that's a Kellhound Battlemaster. I'll explain that later.
That
guy
look like a freaking Mazinger or whatever.
It looks like a Gundam, yes.
Yes.
That's not mission critical. I guess I'm kind of cheating because I already know that this is the thing I'm supposed to inspect. My goal is to inspect and figure out which mech belongs to the general, essentially.
But it's always the same one.
Yeah. It's this one. And so I inspected it, found out who it was, and so now I can destroy him. The other thing is those vehicles that are running away I have to destroy, but I let my teammate just take care of the other mech over there.
But yeah, what I wanted to say about this area, I really love how they managed to do the ice effect.
Oh, yes.
The reflections without it actually being reflections, because obviously they couldn't do such things.
Mm-hmm.
They just had the same thing happen underneath you.
Yep.
Through a transparency effect. It's really nice, actually, for something that came out from 1994.
Like I said, the 3D accelerated version is even better because the sky looks really cool. But yes, it's a neat effect, and it's very necessary because otherwise, visually, this is a very dull level.
It would just be white, and they really they use the gradients really nicely. So it's like the sky and the ground are almost almost the same, but at the same time it works because you would have mist or a lot of snow and low visibility in such an area.
This is kind of what it would look like, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nicely done.
The other... Oh, I guess... Okay, I was going to talk about it since I have it targeted right now. So, Kellhounds are... I don't know if you remember clans in Inner Sphere. I talked about those in an earlier episode. They are Inner Sphere mercenaries. So, this was seen by the, essentially racist Jade Falcons as a huge dishonorable thing by the wolves to fraternize with such lowly freebirths.
Mm-hmm.
And that mech is an example of a mech that you can't pilot. Maybe there's some cheat codes or way to hack into it, I guess, but there's no way to select it to pilot it in any mode for any faction, or even in the free play stuff, which I guess I'll show off after, maybe in between. Anyway, I wonder if actually that's one of the ones that's not going to be that has the rights issues. But anyway, so yes, you're going to hear that target is beyond inspection radius a lot because I need to inspect all these convoy vehicles, and they're going
all of them, or
slow.
like one of each kind.
No, I have to find they all basically look the same, and I have to find all the ones that contains military staff members, like command staff members.
And they're invulnerable.
No, the hitboxes can be kind of confusing because they're not exactly the same as the model all the time.
So that wasn't the one.
No, that was there's 3 or 4 that you have to do.
Oh.
And you can blow up ones that aren't staff. It's not like you get penalized for that, thankfully.
Oh, okay.
But you still have to find them. And also, I don't know if you see that in the distance, but there's
a gigantic alien egg.
That's a drop ship. Thank you very much. And I love how those turrets say enemy mech. Clear mislabeling by people who did it.
Anything that is that isn't a rock is an enemy mech, as far as this game is concerned.
Well, no, those are turrets, and most of the time they're labeled.
Wow!
He just kicked me in the face so hard that he flew away.
He was playing Mirror's Edge. He has the Mirror's Edge engine.
That was some hardcore parkour. But you have to destroy the staff vehicles before they. Thank you, friend. Before they make it to the dropship. And I lost my right arm a while ago, so I have less firepower, which is fun.
And I can imagine hitting such a small target is kind of hard.
So, well, especially because there is some wobbling you're seeing right here, and that is actually part of the game. Like, as you step, your mech would go up and down, and so its arms would go up and down, so its fire, would go up and down. And that's recreated. But I did it, hooray. And my friend was very helpful, which is nice. But with these, I just don't even bother to just lock on when I can. Oh, and my friend died.
But he was useful, so good.
Yeah. And he was not even named.
What
the
hell are these?
These are turrets.
It clearly says it's an enemy mech.
Yes, but they're turrets.
Maybe they're like the mini bots from Transformers,
Oh, Nico. No, you'll see a far better version of that when we do. I think there might be some in the Wolf campaign, but they're definitely when we do the Ghost Bear expansion.
No, I mean like a marketing ploy, so they could create easier to manufacture toys, but still sell them under the same, under the same name, under the same brand, Yeah. So even the poorer kids can be like, I have a MechWarrior. No, it looks like a tripod.
It says mech right here on the box.
Well, it's clearly fake.
Also, I was just curious, and then about this dropship, because sometimes they have like neat little things, but it says shielded when I inspect it, and that means I can't blow it up.
So I was actually going to ask, can you just blow up the dropship so none of the convoys get to it? So I thought of that.
It's shielded. Remember there was that dropship earlier that I blew up in the campaign, but that was powered down and under repair, so it was a situation where I could destroy it.
So that does actually make sense.
Yeah. I mean, there's a universe here. It might not always make, but it's more than just for the game, because there were books and, as I've explained, books and bunches of other games. So
no, they clearly follow rules. It's not just like
things aren't arbitrary. They have a structure. Oh shoot! Did I actually get all my points? I don't know if I did. Well, we can do that. No, we can't actually. Well, we'll have some time during the other campaign. But, and that is the last. The last of
Yay,
them.
mission successful.
So, mission successful. We managed to get a win for the Falcons, but and it says, "May the Wardens go to hell." There. But yeah, the Wolves won.
Good.
The Wolves won. That's what you read right here. That's what it says. Is that the Wolves won? So nothing you do matters. Everything is predetermined, and your life is meaningless. And there's another trial now, which we'll see in the next episode.